Once ago, I flew the Himalayas and watched the sun streak over them in rising. I have been to championships. I have seen the humble and the chastising. I've toured in a taxi with a terrorist and held my baby teeth within my fist. I have an adopted little Indian brother. I once cussed at my own mother. I have worn 2 pythons around my neck and felt like an idiot writing my first check. I've broken my nose 4 times and gone on adventures just to adventure sometimes. I've seen a man shake in utter fear. I've stubbed a toe and wiped a tear. I've declared to a girl that I'd be with her to the end. I've won a heart. I've lost a friend. I found a dead jellyfish on the shore and got lost in a grocery store. I've rode an elephant once. I built a scarecrow and had it lit. I've even gone to watch a concert and ended up playing in it. I've known famous people and prayed beneath a dozen steeples. I've seen a Nepali woman furious at exercise yoga and been complimented by a Buddhist monk. I've spoken Latin and learned how to say toga. It's toga in Latin. I've run from a skunk. I've seen my best friend fall off the proverbial cliff. I've hung with people I'd call loose and been called stiff. I've beaten an analogy to a pulp, and I drank that glass of orange juice in one gulp. I've been handcuffed and tasted my own medicine. I've seen all sorts of stuff. I've been caught in sin. I've accidentally gotten white out on a teacher's shirt. I've collected rocks, chased snakes and frogs, and aimlessly dug holes in dirt. I've also been afraid of dogs. I sat on a sunken dock and in the rain to watch the drops like pepper play upon the lake. I like to be called crazy. I think it keeps me sane. And this all in 23 years of vanilla birthday cake. I hope to live 4 times as long. But now we're shifting gears. Back then I was a little boy, and life was sandbox Tonka toys. Dreams were commonplace, as was the mud on my baby fat face, and like some little boys, I had a dad. I'd beam when he praised me and cringe when he was mad. Through a long and drawn-out lesson, I learned to discern between good and bad through scoldings, timeouts, spankings, and shouts. This is my upbringing, like many others. Like many others then, I was a teenager, arrogant and unsure. I was Superman and the loser. I was king and I was victim. There were moments, sure, when I was void of all delight, but like every fledgling artist, I had my time in limelight, like many others. Like many others now, I'm a young adult. Still, I often feel unqualified for the job or as if I've joined a cult. But always I tend toward thinking that I know more than I actually do. We are so young, college students turn careers, but we assume we're heroes yet unsung. We have LaRouche, we have conservative, musician, engineer, geek, and homie G. You name it, and it's here. We have the prideful and afraid, theologians and agnostics, the bums and the well-paid. But what's the difference if tomorrow were the same as yesterday? I fear that we'll let life get away, being caught between friends and enemies, between those who uphold me and those who scold me to my knees. We have the broken and the breaking, the shaken and shaking, lust slaking, peacemaking, truth-taking, friend-forsaking, cause for headacheing, thought-baking. We have the moral teaching, love-leeching, shirt-bleaching, short-armed and far-reaching, humbly beseeching, sports-loving, push comes to shoving, innocent as doving, dog-piling, endless smiling, by-fire trialing, relationship reconciling, propaganda-belling, way-showing, temper-melling, face-glowing, class-rocking, and nerd-mocking, the stunning and the shocking, hatchet-burying and gun-cocking, open-door and window-locking, joyless, hopeless, faceless, heartless, joyful, hopeful, a face full of laughter and a heart full of depth. Here is a secret long best kept. I am not invincible. I never was. But I make my choices, and when asked for a reason, I answer firmly, just because. I have rights, I cry, but do I? Was I not stillborn? Will I not still die? I am not a sadist, masochist, nor emo, but ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I'd like to know real life. I'd like to know why the scalding heat of summer always cycles into snow, why we have those feel-good movies and then their credits to end the show, why we have sweet songs and then their resolution chord, why there's an end to prince and pauper, both the lowly and the Lord, why we have love and our beloved is soon lost, why we have gain and glory but always with a cost, why everywhere there's white, it's not quite white, but a mere and imperfect reflection of the truly bright white, and why everywhere there's light, it's always lessened by the shadows, but most of all, the silencer of tongues, the stiller of our strife, the sobering truth that one day ends this life, why we die, although we grow, to grow and still die. Not quite the happiest thoughts. No, I know they're not, but flip them around, they take on a better sound, that the freezing winter is always followed by the spring, that the end of one sweet song means a new lyric to sing, that the poor are justified to meet the same fate as the rich, the small as the great, that love is never a regret, for somehow it goes on, that the cost of greatness is never one for which we long, that somehow by not seeing white, we seek it like never before, and that, though dark descend, we are promised light in one day more. So, do not close my childish eyes as you may have closed your own. I will not be a mimic, sycophant, or clone. I will see the light and not be scared to shine. I will too see the dark and bring to it the light. We deny, defraud, defer, but truth is always coming closer. Let it not be fear that breeds. When I say truth is all you need, let it not be a shaking hand that's close. When I say the end is close at hand, let it be only comfort, consolation, that truth will be there on that day that takes you from me away. I will feel it and remorse, but truth will meet you at the finish line when there is no blemished white, no dark define. We'll have mothers, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, and friends. On this my soul depends. And like back in that sandbox playset swing, there'll be no thinking too much. There'll be no thing but trust between you and your Father. Truth will meet you there. This life is like music. It's beautiful, but it ends. I know truth, and I know life. He will be there at the end. On him my soul depends. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Shucks. It's weird to be back here, but it's great. They changed the signs on the bathroom doors. I noticed that when I came in. I was like, wow, that's